Hello. Ooh. Oh. That's all right. It's time to change it. We'll do hygiene later today. Anyways, how are you? I'm ready to take my break now. I already deleted my Instagram or deactivated it for a little bit of time. And I'm about to take a sabbatical. But before I go, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind since I dropped the video, my 30th video, I think. I think it was my 30th video, somewhere in there, 30, 31, 32, maybe. All right. It was covert emotional incest and the hierarchy of needs. Okay. Cat hair everywhere. I've been wanting to say this since then, but I forgot, and it's been several years. But since we've been diddle daddling, talking about it in your human frequency chart, here's what I want to say. All right, been wanting to say this forever, so here we go. You know how like people call people codependent because they're searching for friendship and family and intimacy and a sense of connection. They're codependent and they may not be. It's just that the people that commonly speak about them are the people that are on the safety and security tier. All right, so here, let's look at it again. All right, we've got physiological needs, we've got safety and security, we've got love and belonging, and we've got self-esteem and self-actualization. All right, people down here and down here, okay, people that are literally struggling to breathe, provide food, water, and shelter, and clothing and sleep, and who are like, purse before, oh, dang, there used to be a saying I knew of, purse before ass or something like that, right? Health, employment, property, family, and social ability, right? These people right here, those are the type of people that go to work and they're just there to get a check. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to get money, right? But these things are often intertwined. Like, let's say you get a job and you get a promotion, all right? That automatically brings you up to self-esteem because you now achieve something, you have respect of others. Sometimes, I mean, it's a technicality, like, but if you were to get, promoted, it automatically boosts your self-esteem, you know? So a lot of people will do these two and they'll skip over this one. They'll be like, just worry about your money. Just get your money up. Don't worry about none of this right here. Just get your money up. I'm just trying to make money, man. I ain't worried about none of that. I ain't trying, and they may even still fuck, but they ain't trying to love nobody. No, not right now, because I'm just worried about my money. So they do this like superficial intimacy type thing, where they're sleeping with people and shit like that. But no, they just try to get their money up. They just trying to get their money up. Don't worry about that. And so these people down here will think they're better than the person right here, but you see that they're not. They're not more enlightened. They're not more stable than the person that's over here trying to get this right here. Very rare. But what I wanted to say is these things are intertwined. It's very rare that you'll get one of these things here and not find something here. You go to a job, you may get a few friends. Now, that doesn't mean that you should try to be friends with everybody that is at the job. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you're at the job and you meet a friend, right? Notice family is on here twice. The safety of your family, and then belonging in the family. You need them twice. But nope, you ain't talked to your family in 6 months because you try to get your money right. Everybody get out of my way, y'all, all distractions. And then you can't figure out why you're depressed. It's because all of these things are required. You can't just focus on one and not focus on the rest. And so a lot of people over here in this little area right here, okay, trying to get their property, trying to get their employment, trying to, worry about their money and all that stuff. You could literally decide to be in a relationship with someone and knock all three of these out at once. Because then y'all could go and get property together. Even if it's, I personally would never suggest anybody to like get in a relationship and get what they can afford. No, go beneath that. Live a little bit beneath your means at first, stuff like that. But a lot of you will stick right here in the employment and property area and reject all else and then can't figure out why your psychological is being affected. Why am I depressed? Why am I lonely? Why am I struggling with my mental health? It's because you're only focusing on this here. And then you have the audacity to be self righteous and think you are above someone who is looking for connection. Some of those people already got this down pat. And you right here trying to say you're better than somebody that's up here and up here. Hmm. This is the most important thing to know. These things are intertwined. Yes, you do got to make your way up, but once you get to a certain point, some of this stuff is supposed to come with it. But you yourself are holding yourself back because you want to be stuck right here, right here. And then, like I said, for the patriarchy, especially for men, okay, the main some of the main messages that come into the red pill is don't get into any serious relationship until you're 35. Wait until you stack your money up, right? And you're doing that again, cuts off your physiological needs. It cuts off your physiological needs sometimes because you're grinding and getting no sleep. And you're doing all of that for the male gaze. Again, I just got to mention, especially for men, a lot of you do this for the male gaze, for the approval of men. And you do have a false sense of confidence and achievement, but you lack respect for others because you're betting all the women you can find and giving them no intimacy, okay, or a sense of connection, and you're wondering why you're fucking feeling empty. It's intertwined. They come together. One brings you to the next brings you to the next, and again and again and again. Also, something I realized is babies are kind of like self-actualized, right? They come into the world like this, all creative and shit, all they're not necessarily moral because they'll hit you in a hot second. But as we grow and we start getting conditioned, we start to lose self-esteem. We start to feel like we don't belong in our family. Nobody loves me in here. Everybody hates. There's a child that every time anybody says anything to her, the first thing, nobody likes me in here. Right? She didn't start off like that. It comes with trying to conform to whatever it is the expectation is, standard is in your family sometimes. So you'll be brought back down to here in your own family unit. And then they're supposed to build you back up. And then again, if they're not going to help you do that, then you need to make sure that you're doing it yourself. But this is one of the most important things about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, there have been people that have refuted things. The reason I don't agree with some of the refuting is because you can add things to this. This is just kind of like a guideline, you know? You can, and then each guideline has, stipulations, right? So an example of love and belonging is, let's see, when it comes to intimacy, you've still got the love languages. You know what I'm saying? There's stipulations to how some of that stuff works. to be a friend, you have to have respect of others. You know, there's this is important. Some of you stuck right here. Health, employment, property, family, social ability. And you think you're better than someone who's looking to have a sense of connection and intimacy when they're likely feeling that longing because they've already met these. They're on the next. Very few people, okay? Very few people. Oh, no. Let me take that back before I even let it fly out my mouth because I've seen it. When what I noticed is, like, especially in shelters and stuff, right? Note that they don't have this, right? They don't have this, they don't have this, but they'll be on this shit right here. A lot of times they'll be on this shit right here. That's when it's wrong. That's when it's wrong. That's when it's codependent. But if this person, if you can look at them and you're like, oh, they're pretty healthy, all right. And maybe they're not healthy, but they're on the track. Okay, they're not employed, but they do have income. All right, okay. They do have a roof over their head. They do have, they're breathing all right. They got food. They got water. They got shelter. They got clothing. They got sleep. They got all this shit right here. They have social ability, but maybe they don't have the best car. Maybe they don't have a specified number in their bank account. And you be like, focus on your money. You don't need to be focused. No. You're wrong. You're wrong. And you're stuck here and you're empty because you think you're better than the person that's up here. But as you see right here, you're not. That's gonna be my last lesson. I've been thinking about that since the day I dropped that first video 5 years ago. Okay. And that is all that I have to say. And I'll see you in a couple months.